Welcome back to Texas Truck Channel. I'm Brian, and this week we have something special for you. That's right, the all new, well not all new, the first ever Mazda CX-70. And let's get a look at it. This is a 24 model, and the keen viewer will notice a couple of changes optically, but also notice some very big similarities, mainly between that wheel and that wheel. More on that in a minute. But let's get right into it. This one is the inline 6 model, and it has a couple subtle differences. The front and rear bumpers are completely different. And by that I mean they have these inserts here. The 90, or the last year's model, has just the air inlet here, but not this mesh panel here. I actually like this. On the white model, it looks more drastic. I'll show you some B-roll here. And then the grills are slightly different between the PHEV and the inline 6. The PHEV has less openings in the grill. The inline 6 has more openings, and that is all about cooling. And keep in mind, you can get a tow package on this and tow up to 5,000 pounds. That's part of what that is for. The tow package gets a trans cooler and a bigger radiator. The PHEV can do 3,500 pounds. Now, another difference you'll see optically is that there's a lot of black trim on here that you didn't see before. This on the previous model, well, that's black on all the models. This is black on all the models, where it was a satin kind of chrome previously. Door handles are black on every color that you get. And this whole mantra of the 70 versus the 90 is the sport appearance. That's what you get here. Wheels and tires, well, the tires are the same, but the wheels are different. These are 21s, and this is an all new design. The biggest difference is that the machining is slightly different, and this lip is more drastic between them from the 90 to the 70. Now, something you can derivate from this is a lot of these things will trickle down to the 90 in the future, but as of right now, that's what you're getting on the 70. The 90 still has different wheels, and also this is kind of a satin black chrome, but that was regular chrome on the other one. Black chrome down here, not regular chrome. So you get some differences that way. Okay, out back there's a big difference too. The bumper is slightly different. You have these inserts just like the front. The old car had just the swoop line, and then obviously the radar sensor is still intact on this one. Again, the 70 is all about the sportiness. Now let's talk about what is not different, and that is, well, they can't officially tell us this, but we think the wheelbase, this will be revealed in about a month. The wheelbase is identical to the 90, at least it looks to be right now. So what that gives you is the same legroom you had before, which is formidable. The other difference though is that this seat now reclines up to 15 degrees, which means even goofballs like me can fit back here. Let's try that out. Okay, hop in. I've got good enough headroom right here. I can pull that lever and go back all the way 15 degrees and lounge like I'm meant to be back here. That's nice. You also get new for this year the red Napa leather, which is beautiful, and it harkens back to the Mazda 3 that had this color previously. You continue red stitching, and you also have the black stripe in the middle. Man, what a nice interior. That is new for this year. But let's check out what's in the back. Oh, we can't forget fuel door. Let's check fuel door. Yep, regular cap, not capless, but you do have a cap holder right here, which is nice, I guess. It kind of works. Premium fuel, super recommende. But not required. And again, everyone asks, oh, can you run cheap fuel in here? Yeah, you can do 87. The non-Turbo S doesn't ask for premium, but the Turbo S does, and that's what we have here. Now you'll see CX-70. That's the biggest difference because it's not a 90. e-Skyactiv G, that means it has the electrified powertrain. So there's a 48-volt motor sandwiched between the engine and transmission. We'll talk about the transmission more in a minute. There's a big change there. And let's open the hatch. Time for interior. Here's the biggest difference. Previously on the 90, you had a third row in place of all of this gear. I'm gonna set this out very delicately, Mazda. Get some more room. Got your official state backpack. All right, so here's what you have. You have a big flat load floor. What you may not notice is that this panel and this panel have been pushed out either direction to gain more space, more flat area. And they've actually mentioned that this is gonna be for camping supplies, potentially sleeping in here, that kind of stuff, but you get a flat floor going down. Underneath, oh, there's your old storage like the old one had. Because it's on a third row, this whole panel can come out. You can fold on the ground. There we go. And look at that. You've got your normal storage that the 90 had, but the 70 has this. This is all new. You've got paddle. You've got wiffle balls. You've got more wiffle balls. And you've got tripod and stuff like that. But seriously, this whole panel is new, and Mazda's done a good job at adding a bunch of accessories that the old model didn't have. Those are coming out because this thing's been out for a minute now. Now that we're done in the back, let's see what this thing sounds like. One more thing you can do in here is that this is new for the 70, is you have seat poppers for the second row, which is nice. And look how flat that is. You can actually car camp in this if you wanted to. That's, again, back to the adventure side of the 70. Pretty nice. All right, hopping into the interior, and boy, oh boy, here's that new red leather. It's on the dash. A little history to this. It was actually first debuted last year, this color at least, on the Mazda 3 Carbon Edition Turbo. And now it's available here on the 70. It will be on the 90 as well in the future. But this is the first time it's had Napa leather, not synthetic or non-Napa leather. So let's start this puppy up. There's a couple things in here I want to cover. Oh, she starts up. She sounds just like the Inline we drove last year. There's your cluster. It is fully digital now, which we like that a lot. Now keep in mind, ignore that. This is a pre-pro car and it hasn't moved. It's really just for static display. But Mazda was nice enough to let us use it for filming today. This spec, and we don't want to get canceled or anything, but this is basically the masculine spec. It's got the black, it's got the carbon machined look here, and the red leather and the black exterior. This is the one that's the most masculine trim over some other color options. Now, there's two big new features in this that Mazda's really proud of. One is the safety stop assist. If the driver is in self-driving mode and something happens to that driver, say they go unconscious, they have a medical emergency, something like that, it will now bring the vehicle to a stop. So what happens is it will not change lanes, but it will ping several times, give you several warnings. If you don't give a gas, brake, or steering input, it will eventually, after enough warnings, bring the car to a safe stop. They have told us in the future we should expect this thing to change lanes in interstate environments to get off the highway, but for right now it's just bringing that vehicle to a stop. That's a pretty big deal. A lot of brands don't have that tech. Mazda's always thinking about stuff like that. They're really good at that. Okay, the other thing I'm most excited about that Mazda's done a good job on is they've integrated Alexa to this. GM has done this with Google in the past, but Alexa's just a little bit better. Hey Alexa, tell me a joke.
Where does chocolate milk come from? A dairy cacao.
Man, doesn't miss a beat. That's really helpful and handy. Everything else with this is similar to the 90, so powertrain is exactly the same. But here's the biggest deal. The 8-speed we had problems with last year and a lot of frustration because otherwise we like this vehicle a lot. And I spoke to Mazda here today. They have already made updates to that. There's already been a reflash to every 90 that's currently at dealers. And if you have one and you're having shifting problems, go back to your dealer. There's a TSB for it. They will update, reflash it, and it solves that problem. So I'm excited about that. It was very jittery and jolty before. And apparently it's just a calibration. And we said that in our previous reviews. It was going to get sorted after about a year. I'm excited to see what they have here. So anyways, thanks for watching this. Stay tuned for the first drive of this. It'll come up in about a month or two, and we'll have it all covered there. Thanks for watching. See you next time.